Hello there and welcome to a tutorial about how to do a terrain challenge. First of all, create a meadow with a river. Second, create a mountain with a river. It sounds simple enough, but we'll see, and we'll see how far you get with the quality of it. So I'm going to go through the various assets that I used. Number one being Terrain Toolkit, which is free. Number two, Tom's Terrain Toolkit, Tom's Terrain Tools. It's another one for putting in paths and rivers. Then we're going to add the beta terrain sculpting tools in Unity, which you've got to add from the to access. You need to go to terrains page, window package manager, terrain tools. We have to add something. This is such toolbox, whatever. Installing the terrain tools. Right. Anyway, there's a tutorial there. We'll go through that, and then we bring in the sample asset pack. What we really do need to do is make our own brushes as well, but that's another lesson. Then we've got noise brush. It's only available for the free one is a very cut down version of it, and okay, we'll show you what it the full version, which is also called Map Magic 2 brush, which costs $40 or pounds or euros or whatever. But this is what it should do. So we basically what it allows you to do is use a brush to paint textures and terrains and put erosion in from a brush rather than on the whole terrain like Terrain Toolkit does. So we do that, they do that, and then the really cool bit is when they start adding the textures to it, in my opinion. So he's busy adding, let's have a look, erosion, adding that beautiful extra erosion, just a tab to give that beautiful texture to the mountains. Okay, and that's great. I'm going to start texturing it in a minute. So adding textures. And then brushing in the texture. Bedrock, sediment. And this is just beautiful. This is why I will buy. Eventually, I will buy this if I can get it on sale. Particularly, hopefully they'll do a discount on it. It's quite pricey. Yeah, painting in erosion. So it's eroding and it's also painting it in. That is so amazing. Right, once we've finished with that, let's move on. So that's available now, Map Magic 2. You can get a free one, like I say, but it only gives noise. It doesn't do any of the painting, which is half the magic of it all. Onwards. Right, the next thing you can use is Real World Terrain. Let's see what, come on. And Real World Terrain basically allows you to yoink mountains off a satellite and then put it into Unity and then texture it. So it costs a fair bit of money, but it really does what it says it does. Yeah, it does what it says it does. Again, it's a pretty good for what it does, but if you want to make your own mountains, it's not a thing, but it gives you a reference. Then lastly, well, for now, is terrain to mesh. Now this is the thing that allows you to take the terrain and bake it into a mesh, and then also texture that mesh for you. So it also allows you to do trees. I've never been brave enough to do trees. I think just being able to take that terrain and shunt it out as an OBJ with textures on, it's just going to save so much time. So you create a beautiful texture, terrain in a terrain, and then export it as an OBJ. And then with that OBJ, when it's got a proper material on it, you can bring it back in with the material already on it. So you don't have to repaint or UV or Surfforge or use Pro Builder to put the textures back on. So yeah, there you go. That's the workflow we're going to cover. And right, so let's go over the first bit of that by going into here, importing Terrain Toolkit. Right, Terrain Toolkit import, and we'll make a new scene. Once we've done that, I think the two key ones is this one plus the terrain tools. However, I just don't know how okay, that's great. File. I don't want to get out of here because I want to get the other one. I want to get Tom's terrain tools is another one we need to come back to, but I do cover that later on in another video. But right, package, yeah, that's great. Now, how do we get this again?
One of the most fun design and how to use it. Now, first and foremost, begin with Terrain Tools package in the list and then open up the package manager. In here, let's click on Advanced and make sure that we have the Show Preview.
Yeah, so it's Show Preview. Yeah. The Advanced Project Settings. Enable Preview. Yes, I understand. Right, and then Terrain. Let me just apply it, do we? Okay, and we have to go back to the package manager. Scoped. What? Enable and then out. Right, now terrain. I think we have to. Bear with me and this package manager because it is worth doing. Come on. So Unity registry or built-in? I think it might be built-in. Terrain. No, that's not it. Unity registry. Terrain tools preview. There we go. Install. Yeah, what a palaver. They don't exactly make it easy, do they? Right. Installing. Taking its time. Now, as soon as we've got that installed, we want to then bring in the next thing, which is the brushes. It's much better with brushes. This is really for the mountain sites aspect of it. But we're going to, okay. You done? That's that. And then we're going to do the, oh my goodness, it's got worse. So why would I need that popping up like that, taking up? That's 75% of the screen. I don't think I could get much more of a pop-up to cover up what I actually. So it's a little bug. I just think I'm annoyed with the fly-ins. Open in Unity, turn tool. That's it. But you know, fly-in pop-ups that take up 75 to 80% of the screen. I don't know what planet they're on. Anyway, import that. As you try and click what you want, you get spun away into other. Oh, never mind. That's a rant for another video. Okay, let's bring that in. That's cool. So Unity's got so many cool features, and then they just do this stuff with the UI, which I just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, and their website, the asset store in particular, it's just so painful. Right, okay, so that's done. Close. Okay, so we've got the terrain tools. We're going to close that now. Okay, so let's file new scene, built-in, create. Right. First off, 3D object, terrain. Make sure. Okay, double click the correct terrain. Okay, add component, terrain toolkit. Okay, terrain models, and we're just going to do hamper for this one. And that'll add a bunch of features for us. Double click it again, move in, move around. We've got a basic kind of hilly meadow thing. Put grass, put rivers on, etc. Right, first we're going to smooth it off using the smooth tool. I've got a whole bunch of new stuff here, which is their stuff. What I want to do, smooth height. Yeah, smooth height. I want a proper brush, not a silly brush. There we go. We want to make it big. Come on. Oh dear. Can we make it bigger? Size 500. There we go. Just smooth it off. What we're doing here is trying to stop the little jagged bits from the fractals. Okay, so that is stage 1 complete. File, save as. Scenes. Middle one. Okay, file new scene. Create. Okay, 3D object. Terrain. Where are you? Terrain. This time, same deal. Add terrain toolkit. This time we're going to go for a mountain. Mountains are a bit disappointing from the initial thing, so we're going to have to do some extra things to it. Okay, see that's, I don't think that's impressing anybody. So now we go here, go to the toolkit, we go to erosion, I believe. Thermal. We're looking for noise. I think it can be create. Add noise. This is purling. There we are, it's a bit better. And then Verona. Jagged mountains. That's a hell no. Okay, fractal, add noise. Okay, looking better. So add another noise. Okay, then we're going to have to smooth it all off again. Okay, it's all kind of volcanic, and then erode, hydraulic, and get a brush with the full. If we click full, it's hiding. Come on. Full. No. This one. Thermal erosion brush. Yeah. Okay, well let's just bring it back out to the side and let's try thermal erosion. It's probably going to suck. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Undo. I mean, we do want a bit of a thermal erosion on everything. Iterations, let's make it 2. Max minimum slope, something like that. 20. Oh, is that working? I think it is. Yeah. I think a bit too much. Hit undo. It's all a bit trial and error. Well, yeah, okay. I mean, if you can get the brush to work, so let's hold Shift key, click on, and undo. Okay, so we've got to change the brush size in here. So we'll say 50. No, that's probably the way to do it. Smooth things down. What we also need to do is impose a river system on it. Okay. Right, this is where it starts taking some time, so let's switch on and move on. So next thing to do is to use these erosion brushes here. Okay, well, let me get 500. And then we need not smooth height, erosion, or so do hydraulic, see what happens. It's just sanding it off. Kind of cool, but undo. And sculpt. Always. Create noise in. What I really want to do is maybe mesh stamp. No. Stamp terrain. 500. I think stamp terrain's the one. Is it just on stamp height? No, that's just raise, I think. Raise or lower terrain. I'm going to try that. There we go. This is another way to make sure you can rotate the brush as well. looks a bit more peaks in, and then rotate. Minus 90, and then I'll go this way as well. Okay, and we really do need to stick a river in there somehow, but we'll cover that later. And next thing is, let's texture it. So texturing, boom. Oh dear. Select cliff, texture, cliff. There we go, cliff. What do we fancy? I think that one. Okay, texture. Don't know. Snow. No. Ground. No. I'm gonna have to look. Dirt. No. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that one's quite nice. Oh, that one, kind of a moss. Yeah, let's add another texture. Add snow. No, I don't think that's a. Sand, no. Just add another. No, let's use it. Okay, and now apply procedural textures. Okay, so we've got some issues coming in now for the different terrain. So cliff, we want to start. Then need to make the sizes a bit bigger as well. Get off this brush as well. $10, 50. We need some harsher rock, really, don't we? Okay, and where's the texture of the terrain? Textures. Bind the textures. Chill, there we go. Alright, layers. Yeah, of course it's the hardest possible thing to find. Oh yeah.